Well, what are we? About the middle of winter now, Paul?
Somewhere around there.
I think we're January 11th. That's somewhere around the exact middle of winter. So we're chugging along in the winter department.
You made it out here.
Yeah, no problem.
A little bit of a storm today.
We got 4 inches of snow. I think it's pretty well over. I don't think we're...
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't think
maybe
we're
it's
expecting too much more, Paul. They said originally 5 to 9. And we get 4, and I think that it may flurry and stuff, but I think less than an inch
All right.
possible. So
We're back for another podcast.
yes.
This week we're going to expand on last week's podcast a little bit.
Yeah.
Last week was a little bit about preparation. We talked about success, but we left success loosely defined. Today we're going to kind of delve into the definition of what I think success should be.
Yeah.
And how some defining terms, it could be wrecking your season.
Yeah.
So we'll get into the meat and potatoes in that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, that's and I thought about that when you told me the topic, Paul, but boy, that's the success can be defined in a lot of different ways to a lot of different people, and
Yeah.
and it changes over your life, what success is. So
I'm gonna step on a limb. There's a good way and there's a bad way.
yeah,
So we're gonna kind of
yeah.
look at the bad way and how kind of a change in perspective.
I'm gonna hug the tree.
And
You're
change-
stepping out on a limb. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
hug
no.
the tree and be safe.
But
Yeah.
anyway, before we get too far into that, a few things I want to cover. Got a lot of questions about reading lists.
Yes.
Like, what's your favorite hunting and fishing books or outdoor books? So I kind of put a bug in your ear and was like, what are your favorites?
I gravitate, Paul, to the Maine type, but I do a lot of different reading. I can read about the mountain men and the Plains Indian, the Sioux and stuff like that, and but I kind of gravitate to the Maine kind of heritage, the Edmund Ware Smith and the Dorothy Boone Kidney.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You brought all your books for
I brought some of them there that people would probably be interested in. And like I say, a lot of these aren't directly hunting and fishing, but
Yeah.
they're people that have made a life in the outdoors, in the Maine outdoors.
So what do you got?
Well, we get the this is Edmund Ware Smith, and I think Edmund Ware Smith wrote a lot of novels of fiction.
Yeah.
But they're Maine based, but they're not true stories or whatever. And then Lou Dietz is another one that is very interesting, and he wrote about Maine and the Allagash in that area. 9 Mile Bridge, Helen Hamlin.
Yep. She's on my list twice.
Yeah, that's something most people have heard about, either heard about or read. And Louise Dickinson Rich.
We Took to the Woods?
We Took to the Woods. Yeah. Have you got that one on
Nope, that's not on my list.
your list? Yeah, like I say, Dorothy Boone Kidney, and I gotta thank somebody. You had mentioned it that I had mentioned a book and couldn't remember the title.
You knew
of
it right away.
Yeah, the Lore of the Labrador Wild, and I've got that book with me. That's not my book. That was loaned to me by a friend, and that was a fantastic read. I
Sounds like a
actually
good
read
one.
that in a day. You were out tracking a buck, and I sat in the truck and I read that book. So there's a website that I found a few years ago, the Outdoor Sporting Library,
Okay.
and that is by Jeremiah Wood. And that is a fantastic resource for anything outdoors. Yeah, I would highly recommend everybody check that website out, the Outdoor Sporting Library.
So okay, I had 5. I think it's actually roughly 6, but so I had Helen Hamlin's books.
Yeah.
We're kind of Pines, Potatoes, and People.
Yeah, that's more of a history of Aroostook
Yeah.
County, but that's interesting.
It is.
Very interesting.
And then 9 Mile Bridge.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of in a fishing phase of things. So I'm kind of fishing heavy. Trout Madness by Robert Traver.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite.
John Volker.
Yeah, he's
Or Robert Volker? John?
No, Robert Travers is his pen name.
Right.
John Volker, whatever.
John Volker was,
his
yeah.
actual.
I've got 2 or 3 of his books.
His actual name. Yeah.
Very good books.
Trout Madness is good. Anything John Garrick.
I was going to say that, Paul. Anything.
All of his stuff.
He is probably my favorite. He put out like maybe between 14 or 15.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he's since passed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's gone.
That's unfortunate. Fly Fishing the 41st by James Prosek. So he's from Connecticut, and he fished from his hometown in Connecticut. It was on the 41st parallel.
Right across the
world. He traveled the entire circumference of the world fishing the 41st parallel.
Wow.
I don't know why I can't say 41st. Then the other one I liked, Bush Pilot Angler. Lee Wolf.
Lee Wolf, absolutely. Have that book.
Yeah, so I'm fishing heavy right now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting into the fishing mode.
Yeah, but it's funny you mentioned that, Paul, when I was going to mention in fly fishing, you can't go wrong with John Gyrick, anything John Gyrick.
No. Yeah.
And
or AK Best, too.
Yeah.
They were buddies.
Yeah, and they're both passed, so. Yeah.
I guess I'm still working out. I left my watch on.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then real quick, I had a guy from Kentucky send me an email and shot a beautiful buck this year. Had an interesting story with it. It was like a 17-pointer from Kentucky.
Wow.
It was kind of a shared hunt with his wife. I believe how the story went, he just shot a doe. And then a buck had come in, so apparently you could shoot one of each. And a buck had come in like right behind the doe. He ended up shooting the buck. And he'd mentioned that he wants to hunt the Northeast pretty bad.
Yeah.
And hopes to someday make it out here. But looking at his picture at first glance, before he even read his story, he looked like a Northeast hunter.
Had wool on?
He had buffalo plaid wool on.
Yeah.
Blaze orange.
Yeah.
And there was some snow in the background.
Right.
Sparse, spotty snow. But I said the only thing that gave it away I don't know if I told him this. I don't know if I put it in the email. But for me, the only thing that gave it away that it wasn't from the Northeast was the rack on the buck. There's something about those like Kentucky, Ohio bucks
Spindly?
out there. No, it had like very big, thick brow tines, long brow tines, split brow tines.
Yeah.
And it just didn't look like a
Maine buck.
A Northeast buck.
Yeah.
But I told him, I was like, you look like you already belong here.
Right. Yeah.
And so he's ready to go. He wants to come to the Northeast. But yeah. So Bradley, thanks for sharing that. That was pretty cool. So, all right. Success. I know we talk a lot about it on here. And there's a lot of different ways you can define success. But oftentimes, I think a lot of people end seasons pretty frustrated. They don't feel fulfilled in the season. I think in that group of people, they can define success by, tags filled, inches of antler.
Right.
How big your buck is. So we're definitely not anti-success. And that's not what this is about.
No, we work hard to that end, we work as hard as we can to that end to be successful.
But obsessing about that type of success can destroy your season. It's one of those things. It's like, where does it end? When you want to shoot the biggest deer or whatever, if your idea of success is the end result, like, when is enough?
Right.
I think it was Warren Buffett. They'd asked him, like, how much money is enough? And he had said, no, it was Rockefeller.
Said,
how much money is enough? And he goes, just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
So it's like this dopamine hit. Every time you reach a milestone, you get a nice dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Then it goes away. You need to do it again.
Yeah.
And again. And again. And finally, it reaches a point to where you're just never going to be satisfied.
Right.
If that's going to be your end goal.
Yeah.
And it's funny how some of these podcasts come together. This wasn't originally going to be my topic for the week because it's kind of similar to last week's. But I was in the house cooking supper, and I hear Lacey, our kids are homeschooled, and she's going over some people that were well known for inventions and discoveries and whatnot. So she's going through the list, and I'm listening to her, and we get Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, Marie Curie, Alexander Graham Bell, she's going through all these guys, kind of going over, what they did. And so there was one common theme as I was sitting there cooking dinner. I'm thinking, there's a common theme with all these people, and they're extremely successful, but they never chased success in the terms of money, fame, or fortune.
Right.
They were obsessed with their craft. They're talking about those people. I'm like, that's a good kind of life in general.
Yeah.
In deer hunting.
I've done that, Paul. I've been guilty of that in my life. I viewed the season as unsuccessul if I didn't harvest a deer, and then you start putting days in, and they become a grind. And I guess that if it does become a grind to you, it
becomes like a job.
Yeah, you're probably going on the wrong path. Going about it all wrong. If it becomes a grind, and I've seen plenty of deer hunting videos where some guys in his pickup driving for the 21st morning, getting up at 4:00 or whatever, and he's talking about being worn out, and it is a grind, and I'm thinking, yeah, maybe we're approaching it in the wrong.
Where's your joy?
Yeah,
where's your why behind it?
Yeah.
So, and just to go back to these few people I mentioned, they had a strong loyalty to principles. Like there was no bend. Would not sell out for any reason, shape, or form. They had this, and this is something I can relate to. They had this willingness to be misunderstood. Because when you do stuff that doesn't conform to what society says you should be doing, or what society says is success, bigger house, nicer car, more money, promotions.
Right.
You become misunderstood. People are, well, why are you doing that? Why are you focusing on that? That doesn't make any sense. So it's easy. It's hard to be a non-conformer. And these people all were.
Yeah.
And they just focus on slow and steady wins the race versus how can I fast track myself to
fame and fortune,
a lot of money,
yeah,
being well known,
yeah,
quote unquote, being successful. The big question is, like, how did we get to this point? Because I feel one of the things that had come up, another thing that led me to this podcast for this week was I was going through Fred and Arthur's footage that we had from Chandler Lake. And that culture, that's a different generation. And it's good to kind of share deer camp with different generations.
Right.
Because it kind of yanks you back. That generation was not as quote unquote, success focused as we are now.
Right.
And I sit there and think, so how do we get to this point to where it's all about the outcome as opposed to the experience? Any thoughts?
One of the things I think, Paul, is the smallness of the world through social media and stuff, now we've got, those people didn't really have a lot of people they could compare themselves to, or not many people were going to know about them, period, whether they shot a lot of deer or didn't. They were pretty isolated, where today everything is, you can put everything out there for a lot of people to maybe judge you or gauge you by, that it's a smaller world than it was back then.
Yeah. Because we were talking to Fred there one time, and it kind of come up like, how many deer have you shot?
Yeah.
And in so many words, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Never really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with size.
Yeah.
Didn't matter how many big deer they'd shot.
Yeah.
Or small deer, or how old they were, how experienced they were. It was a non-issue.
Right.
Nowadays, you'll get people, you don't shoot a huge buck, shoot a 2.5, 3.5-year-old buck. People are ragging on you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're shooting a small deer. It's like,
yeah,
the frig, man. Like,
yeah, I think when I was a kid, Paul, I've been through a lot of deer seasons, and when I was a kid, and maybe it was just the group but a doe was a big deal, if you harvested a doe. I hunted a lot of years. I never saw a deer hunting with my father.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Never saw a deer. never saw a deer. Not driving, not out in the woods, or so. Yeah, success to me back then would have been just to see a deer.
Yeah.
Just to see a deer, with a gun in my hand out in the woods would have been a big deal. It took a lot for me to get to the point to harvest a deer.
Yeah.
I was older. It was totally different.
I don't think people fully understand that, because that's one unique thing about Maine.
Yeah.
Is it's big country, it's rough country.
Yeah.
Few deer. It's hard hunting.
Yeah.
But social media will lead you to believe everyone's shooting big deer.
Yeah.
In Maine.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
And I think back then too, Paul, now, you see these youth days, and there's a lot of deer in the fields and in the towns and stuff, and I don't want to say it's easier to harvest a deer, but that didn't exist when I don't remember deer being in Fort Fairfield. The deer were in the big woods when I was when I was young, and it was a different hunting. You didn't have the roads you have today. So I don't remember anybody watching fields and stuff, and agricultural fields, and certainly there was nobody that was hunting over food plots.
That's changed.
That did not exist whatsoever. Nobody even considered that at that time. So it was a different.
So we've had a general transition from more of an experience-based hunting and fishing culture to an outcomes-based hunting and fishing culture. You're not successful if you didn't shoot X deer. You're not successful. You didn't shoot this size of, or catch this size of a fish, or this many fish, or shot your limit of birds, or shot your limit of birds out of the air. Yeah. Can't shoot them on the ground. They're out of the air. It's like, it's become a learned behavior that's been, greatly influenced by society and social media. Yeah. Yeah. As a whole.
Yeah.
And I think it costs people.
Yeah.
A lot. You stop enjoying the day.
Yeah.
It becomes, everything is a wasted day, as you just alluded to.
Right.
If you didn't kill something, catch something, or, and that leads you to rush the experience. Because you look at, and I don't know people's true driving force behind things, but you see a lot of people nowadays hunting multiple states.
Yeah.
Like hard.
Yeah.
And a part of me, and I'm sure there's people that are, 100%, they're just enjoying the ride. But a part of me can't help but think, hurry up and get done here so I can hurry up and go over to the next one. So I can hurry up and go to the next one. And it's like, are you really? Right. I mean, it's to each their own.
Right.
But I just can't help but from the outside looking in and think, are you really truly enjoying your hunting season?
Yeah.
Like, is there a why behind it, or is it that final picture to post on social media that look at all the deer I shot and and you forget why you started hunting. Yeah. Like you said, when you were a kid, the last thing you guys were doing were running all over the country trying to shoot a ton of deer.
And
did you know anyone that did that?
No, I was just going to say that, but my circle of people I knew that hunted and stuff was pretty small as a child, and everybody, they went to their camps and they hunted their areas, around their camps, and anything was legal. And I certainly don't remember, anybody that was fussy on what they shot. If it was brown, it was down, and you were considered successful. If you shot a doe, people would come to your house to see
and give you a pat on the back,
give you a slap on the back there, and it was definitely a different time, and and like I say, I think definitely social media plays a big role in that. You're being compared, and you're comparing yourself to other people,
and the problem, I think I've got that addressed later on, but we'll talk about that right now, is what ends up happening is you you know the unedited version of yourself. Like, you know all of the stupid things you've done.
Yeah.
All the mistakes you've made.
Yeah.
Maybe your house is a mess for a few days, or you don't have this in order the way you should. You've made this stupid decision in life. You know that in your head. But when you look at other people, you're basically seeing their highlight reel.
Exactly.
You're seeing just
the best of the best.
The best of the best.
Yeah. And
you start with this, which comparisons are awful, but you start with this relative self-worth. You know, your self-worth is starting to be relative to what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And it's not an absolute self-worth.
Right.
It's not accurate. And that can be good and bad in both ways. Maybe you're being really successful at something, doing really well, and you see yourself doing better than everybody else. That can impede growth, cause you to start coasting a little bit. You know, I don't need to, there's a bug on me or what? I don't need to work as hard at this.
Right.
Or it can stifle progress. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, but.
One of the things that when you had brought that up, Paul, and we often talk about it, and you read about it a lot over the years, and what success is to like a fisherman, and it's the same for hunters and stuff. You know, when you're really young, you just want to catch something.
Yeah, it's a change over time.
You don't care what it is. You don't care if it's a chub or a perch or whatever. Yeah. As you get a little bit older, you want to catch the things that people, like in this area, people are after, like brook trout or salmon, and you want to catch a lot of them. Yeah. You know, and then you get in a stage where you want to catch the big ones. Yeah. And then as you get older, you might, you might want to get the difficult ones, you know, something that's a little more difficult. And then in the end, when you're old, it's good just to be out there. Just to observe. You don't have to catch or kill anything.
That's right.
And it's just, you're happy to be out there because you understand that there's going to come a time when you're close to when you're not getting out there anymore. You know, it's over. Yeah. So, I think that, you know, that success is oftentimes goes through the stages of life. And
it does. So one thing that, you know, especially at the end of a season, if you've ever had, so we're just talking about failure, blown opportunities, that can be a big one for me.
Yeah.
Like that can eat at me. I hate blowing an opportunity.
Right. When it's, we understand up here, Paul, that in most years, things like you say it's really tough. And if you get a good opportunity in a season to get a buck, you know, you're very fortunate. And boy, if you're the one that messed up on it, if you're, that's hard.
That can hurt exceptionally bad.
Yeah, that's hard to live with for a winter.
And a year, because you've got a whole year to. To think about that. You always learn something from it.
Yeah.
And learning costs something.
Yeah.
Whether it
costs money to go to school.
Going to school or
it costs money to go to school
or missing deer or so I think for a lot of people you need to redefine success.
Yeah.
To really get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And we talked, so last episode we were talking about, you know, being prepared, and that's important to enjoy the experience to the fullest. You know, you talk about getting in shape, and preventing injury and stuff like that. It sets you up in the right position to harvest a deer, right, to have that happen, but it also sets you up to enjoy it to its maximum.
Well, that's what I, you know. Obviously, when I go out, I want to harvest a deer, but I want to go as many seasons as I can.
Yeah.
And I'm at the stage where, you know, things can go off the rails real quick. And so, I mean, I want to enjoy it. I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to go first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then if I can be successful, so much the better. And I will work hard to that end. But,
It's with anything. Like if you've ever gotten a little out of shape, say skiing or something like that, you don't go for a whole year. Sometimes that first outing downhill skiing, it's not as enjoyable. Legs are a little bit shaky.
Right.
It can take a few trips to the ski slope before
you get
things
comfortable.
are really fine tuned and you're enjoying your day
You
to
get
the
comfortable
fullest.
on the skis and stuff.
Hunting's like that. Well, deer tracking in particular.
Yeah.
But I think some good definitions of success on a day out hunting, maybe you stayed the full day.
Yeah.
That in itself can be hard to do. Stay with it from daylight till sunset.
Yeah.
And maybe nothing happened, but you can kind of reframe that to be like, that was tough to stay out for the entire day. Maybe it was cold, miserable, wet, rainy, whatever, snowy. That's success. Reading sign. Maybe you tracked a buck all day and you stuck with them all day long, because it can be hard if they get into other deer. You didn't lose a track all day. That's a successful day.
Right.
Didn't get it, but you were in the game all day long.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
That puts you, that day that you didn't harvest, that it just puts you a day closer to the day you will harvest. Yep. You will get that deer. You're not going to get them every day. So
no, you always learn something.
Yeah.
See, a quiet day, you made some good observations.
Yeah.
No tag filled.
Yeah.
You still get to hunt.
That's exactly right.
Right? Your season's not over.
Yeah.
A missed shot, well, it's a hard lesson learned.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to practice more.
Yeah, and I am guilty of not practicing enough with either a rifle or a shotgun pull.
Yeah.
So
I shot a lot this past year.
Did you?
Shot a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it showed with you at a running deer. You got your first...
My 2 shots were both running. And it's funny. So when you shoot a lot, and neither time when I shot at that deer did I ever feel like it was like a surprising shot.
Right.
It just felt like it was supposed to happen. And it's kind of weird how that kind of changes your whole... Never really thought about it at the time. But looking back when I was editing the video, I was like, the first time when the deer took off and I fired and I see there was blood anywhere, I was never like, oh my God, how did I end up hitting that? It just felt... Yeah. And the same thing when he left his bed, I can remember him on the first jump and remember just almost like subconsciously telling myself, wait just one more second till he comes back up. And then he was right dead center in the scope. And it's almost like that was what was supposed to happen. Yeah. And I shot a lot this past. Yeah. With everything, with that 22 that I bought, even the pellet gun. Yeah. I spent hours just...
So in the video of you, I wasn't with you when you shot it the first time. I was the second time. But in the video that you showed, I got thinking about that. And we talk about all the little nuances that can make you successful, whether you're quiet and whether you got good eyes or good hearing, or there's some things that will give you that little edge. But when I saw that, I'm thinking, man, there's not a lot of people that could have killed that deer in that situation you were in.
A GoPro makes it look...
Yeah.
Like Lacey kept saying, she's like, I can't even hardly see the deer.
Right.
I'm like, well, it's pretty wide angle.
I know you could see it better than we could see it in the GoPro. I know, but I'm still saying, and there's not a lot of people that could do that.
No, it's tough.
There are some, and those are the ones that have that little edge. And that's only one of the nuances. There's a lot of them. Like I say, maybe it's, you spotted that deer before he took off, and maybe a lot of people would not have noticed that flicker of an ear or a flicker of a tail or whatever.
Yeah, and we've all been there.
It's a little things that somebody might, and if you can do a lot of those little things well,
they do. It's all
then you're going to end up being successful.
100%.
You're going to be like the Lanny Benoits that have the good eyes, the good reactions.
Yeah. Lanny was a heck of a shot.
Yes, but he had good eyes too.
Yep.
And he made good decisions. And all those many little things add up to be make you successful
Yep.
in that. That's kind of getting off topic there. So,
But yeah, nonetheless, like, so going forward, how can you reframe your thinking about success? You know, one thing is, and most of us can't do it because we use Onyx for hunting, but ditch the phone for a while. Going through social media. Because you start comparing yourself, numbers, seasons, and it's so hard nowadays. You're bombarded with stuff nonstop. These social media platforms, their algorithms are so good at finding the right people with the right content.
Right.
Incredibly good.
Yeah.
Like it's scary how, yeah, they can, they know, it figures out your habits and what you're, and can figure out what content to feed you.
Yeah. Boy, and I'm guilty of that. And I thought about that when you talked about books. 10 years ago, I used to read a lot. I read books a lot. I've got quite a outdoor library built up. But over the last few years, I've read very few books, and I'm getting my entertainment
from YouTube,
yeah, from watching the videos. And I'm thinking, you've sacrificed your reading for YouTube videos. I mean, I watch way too many of them and stuff.
I'm very guarded with. I used to watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm very guarded now because of the comparison reason.
Yeah.
I have basically, I kind of have blinders on with everything.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to open up that door to, well, this person's doing that.
Doing this, yeah.
And it dilutes down who you are and what you're doing. It'll make you do things that you probably wouldn't normally do that aren't really you. And I don't want to go down that path of, I want to kind of do my own thing, whether it be right or wrong. It's going to be my own thing. And it's hard because I like hunting and fishing, but I have to just stay away from it.
I consume way too much of it, like I say, and I don't read nearly as much as I used to.
I consume other stuff as far as like, I love stories about people and what makes them tick. That's why I bring up like Nikola Tesla and all these, because I'm very intrigued by whether it be right or wrong. I'm very intrigued with, why they made the decisions that they made, like their story behind how they got from point A to point B. Super interesting.
Right.
And like Nikola Tesla died broke.
Right.
He wasn't by today's standards of success.
Right. But everybody knows his name.
Yep.
Today.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, again, so that's where, they weren't chasing success.
Fame or fortune.
They just were obsessed with whatever their craft was.
Yeah.
Whether it be getting an answer to a problem, or Da Vinci was another one.
Yeah. Leonardo
The guy was just wanted to know things.
Yeah.
And it's most of these people didn't go through any formal education with anything. So it shows you how, if your desire is there to learn about something and you're really passionate about something, you don't need to be formally educated in it.
Right.
You'll discover that stuff on your own.
So along that line, Paul, you were talking about books. One of the books that I have is by William Faulkner, and he's a Nobel laureate. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1949. He was a college dropout. Yeah, and he was considered one of the great writers of the 20th century. He was a college dropout.
When you're truly driven, and I always said this when I was in pharmacy school, I didn't need to go to class. Class was a waste of time for me.
Right.
100%. And the problem is I knew how I learned, and I don't learn auditorily whatsoever. So that hour or that 2 hours, whatever that class was wasted time that I could have been
studying
back home doing what I do well, which isn't sitting in a lecture hall listening to someone feed me information.
Right.
It's tell me what I need to know, what's important, and
I'll find out.
I'll go back, I'll read it,
Yeah.
and I'll retain it that way. So it really was, it was a waste of time. I wanted to learn it, and I was willing to put the effort in. It didn't feel like effort because I just enjoyed it, and I didn't have to go to class. Unfortunately, for something like that, to become a pharmacist or a physician or whatever it is, you need that piece of paper to get licensed.
Right.
You can't. There's no like, I'm going to drop out and become
Pharmacist.
a physician or a pharmacist. You got to go through the You got to go through the motions. You got to play the game.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but it also weeds out the people that are in it for the wrong reasons. So another thing that I, helps me stay on task is what's my definition of success is I like to hunt alone. I like to be by myself because
most trackers do, Paul.
I make different, if someone's with me outside of you or if there's someone that I don't really know that well, I'm probably not going to make the same decisions.
Yeah.
I'm going to be influenced by what I think that person wants to do. Yeah. And I'm not going to make a decision that I would ultimately make.
Right.
Because that person's influencing my decision.
Most deer trackers.
Which is why I've never worked well in groups. Ever.
Yeah. Does not play well with others.
No, I used to get so annoyed. So I use school for an example a lot because I get 11 years of school experience post high school.
Right. Post 12th grade.
Which I'm not proud of. That's way more than, but like, people want to study in groups or they want to do group projects. No, count me out. That's not my thing. Yeah. And,
I can see where that wouldn't be a good thing because you get a group of people together, they're going to get off task.
Oh, it's a waste of time.
They're going to get off task. They're going to start talking about this, that, and the other thing and not focused on what they should be focused on. I can see that. So
I used to always be annoyed, like, you got to be able to work on his team. And I'm like, I'm just not that much of a team player. Sorry. Yeah. That's who I am. And, I don't make any apologies for it.
Yeah.
Like, and Lacey gets mad at me. She's like, well, you got to be part of I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how I'm wired.
Right.
So, but it is good to hunt with someone else who has the same values.
Yeah.
And so understands, a successful day may be.
Well, it's good to, as deer hunters up in northern Maine, we like to go out together and come home together, but during the day we can split up and,
most of the time we do.
We can do our own thing, and we're in the same area. Yeah. If somebody shoots a deer, there's a phone call away.
And that's so much fun.
Yeah, right.
That's so much fun when.
Yeah, so that's when success is really sweet when you're with somebody else and they. Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, if you phrase it, did I hunt well today or did I fish well today versus did I harvest anything or did I catch anything?
Yeah.
That's the better approach.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, they want to shoot a particular deer every year.
Yeah.
And hey, to each their own, but I think you're really robbing yourself of kind of the bigger picture. If your
experience,
if your sole purpose is just to run around shooting big deer.
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly not guilty of that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I'm not going to chastise someone. Look, if you want to shoot a particular deer every year, that's your program. You hunt however you want.
Yeah.
But if you can do that and still enjoy, no pressure.
Right.
Hey, you got to figure it out. But if you're putting so much pressure on yourself that if it ain't happening, you're miserable.
Right.
You're frustrated.
You're not enjoying it.
Yeah.
We always talk about that, Paul. Enjoy the process. And there's a lot of the things, we enjoy just going to the range and shooting when we, pre-hunt, going to sight in our rifles. That's fun,
Well,
maybe setting up some trail cams and checking the trail cams and, that's fun.
Life's like that in general. Warren Buffett's famous for saying, if you can't be happy with $100,000, you're not going to be happy with 100 million.
Yeah.
You're going to have the same problems.
Yep. More.
The same
You're
issues.
going to have 100 million more problems.
They're going to be amplified.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's a good perspective to have on life.
Yeah.
So I guess to come back to the original question, chasing success, did it wreck your season?
Yeah. So I'm at a position, Paul, in life, and I think about this quite often because when I was younger and had a different perspective on life, I thought, well, when I retire, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go here and I'm going to go there. And now I'm in the position where I have the three things that I need to do all that. I have my health and I have the time.
And the resources.
And I can do it, but I don't care about it anymore. It's not that important to me.
It's funny how that all...
Hunting's still important to me, but like you say, success to me is to go in the North Maine woods.
Yeah.
And even though the deer population, my odds of getting a deer aren't great there, I know that if I work hard, I'll probably have an opportunity. But I could go to other places where, success was more guaranteed. My perspective on those things have changed. Going to Saskatchewan or to Montana or wherever, or Anacostia Island, you could go up there and be guaranteed almost to shoot 2 deer,
Yep.
And
it's one of those things too and we've talked about this a lot. It always feels 10 times better when you do something that's hard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, when you've earned it.
And then just taking the easy way out.
Yeah.
And with anything, I've always had the motto with anything that I do, I need to do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Don't leave anything on the table because I don't know, at the end of the day, when you do something and you're thinking, not that it needs to be done perfect.
Right.
I'm not talking about perfectionism, but doing something the best that you could do it. And when you leave a little bit on the table, that doesn't feel good at the end of the day. Like you're like, I kind of just haphazard. I mean, it happens all the time. Sometimes with these podcasts, I'm in a rush. Yeah. I don't set things up the way that I should. And I go back and I look at it and I'm like, I really just kind of didn't do what I should have.
With a wing and a prayer.
Yeah. And you don't feel as good as you take the time to kind of do things right and get everything the way it should be. Knowing that you know how to do it a certain way. Not that it needs to be perfect, but it's not good to leave stuff on the table. But I think this year going forward, being prepared, putting in the time, enjoying the experience. Days aren't wasted in the woods. Could be a day observing things, lessons learned. Those are successful days, not necessarily harvesting a deer.
Right.
They're catching a bunch of fish.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
I do have one thing. I got to apologize to Narda. Last week I said she was 65.
She's not.
And she corrected me on that. My wife Narda is not 65.
She's 68.
She's 64. So
she texted me the first thing.
Yeah.
She must have been watching just after I posted it. She must have been watching the podcast. And she's like, I am not 65. And I was like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't even remember.
Yeah.
You saying that.
She reminded me when I get home and she was very gracious about it. And so.
Is that why you had a black eye for a week?
So, yeah. She didn't demand I make a public apology, but I'm doing it right now. So
you know you better.
Yeah. Narda's actually 64 and 1 month.
Yep.
So
anything else to add? I'll give you one more shot.
I've done my apologies, and I don't think there's I don't know if I've stepped on anybody else's toes. If I did, I apologized.
But anyway, winter's been fun so far.
Yes.
We just got back. We went up to camp for
did some snowmobiling. Yeah, we did some
pond
skating.
Hockey.
Yeah, the
Kids
weather was
it.
beautiful. Paul. The weather was warm. The kids had a good time. The weather's been bipolar. We still don't have any snow up here.
No.
Fields are bare.
I just walked down.
Yeah,
actually, and just and a quick note, remember last time we talked about why I was seeing a bunch of eagles down in the...
Right.
I just posted a short today. The other day, I was in the tractor, went down back to clean up some snow.
Yeah.
And I see all kinds of ravens in the field. There must have been a dozen ravens.
Yeah.
And I see 3 eagles.
And you know something's there dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the field. So I drive the tractor, and actually, I never usually record with my phone or anything. But I flip my phone off. I'm going to take a walk out in that field.
Yeah.
Thought maybe it might be a big buck or something.
Right.
At a rack that
snag his antlers. Yeah.
So anyway, I get out of the tractor and head down across the field, and sure enough, there's deer there, half eaten.
Yeah.
And just a little deer. I suspect it was hit by a car.
Yeah.
Like you'd said. It just made it from the road. Deer travel this road like crazy.
Yeah, they
back
do.
And forth.
Yeah, they got trails going right behind your house here, Paul.
I've come close to hitting some, and if you're not paying attention, it's a lot easier to whack one. So I suspect no coyote tracks whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I suspect, he just got...
Yeah, he wasn't eating off nothing than the birds.
All the birds, and they cleaned them up. The birds did.
Yeah, and they'll do that.
And an additional note, I've seen an uncommon lack of coyote activity around the house. Haven't heard coyotes. Haven't seen any. And Kendall, Jack Frost, comments on the channel, has echoed the same thing. He sent me a message today.
Yeah.
Said he hasn't seen any coyotes.
That's a good thing.
So I don't know where they're at.
That's a good thing.
Maybe there's been a coyote apocalypse.
Yeah.
Would be nice, but hard telling.
Yeah.
All right, Dad's starting to fall asleep.
Yeah.
That's the end of it.
One more time, the Outdoor Sporting Library.
Good resource.
Great resource for books. Yeah.
Perfect.
You can find, oh my goodness, you can find everything outdoors there, from trapping to fly fishing.
I'll link it in the description.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, he really does. Jeremiah really has
he's got a section in the Northwood Sporting Journal, doesn't he?
He does, and I read that. It's one of the first columns I read in the Northwood Sporting Journal. And that being said, that we talk about reading, I look for that publication every month.
Yeah.
I read it from front to back, and I'm very
super relatable.
It is.
Right. It's
V. Paul Reynolds is he is somebody I've read for a long time. I've got some of his books that he's written, and you read somebody, and he does editorials and stuff, so you know his stance on things. And it's funny how you can read somebody, Paul, for so long that you actually, it's like you have a relationship with him.
Feels like you know him.
He doesn't know me.
No.
But it's like I know.
If you ever ran into him,
V. Paul Reynolds,
it would feel like you've known him forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you read somebody's articles for so long, and he's a very good writer, and I like, he's a very Maine traditional outdoorsman. So I'll leave that there. I enjoy reading his publication.
Well, good. I think we got to enter there. I got to run down to the grocery store
alrighty
before she closes.
Yeah.
So hope you enjoyed that one. A little bit of a, I don't want to say controversial issue, but
could have ruffled some feathers there.
People might disagree. That's okay.
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about other people.
Yeah.
Don't lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
So, and I got some snow to clean up.
Yeah. Mine's all clean.
I'll just send them out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty. I guess until next time, get outside.
It's good for the soul.
See ya.